Okay, friends, now here is where the rubber meets the road. You've done so many self-checks. I'm so glad that you've made it this far. And now I have something called the self-check summary. So we're going to, it's a table that you'll be able to download and check things off. And I'm going to explain the table to you, and then in the next sequence of lessons we're going to go through some samples of what this would look like for the non-muscle overactive pelvic floor muscle check, the muscle overactive pelvic floor muscle check. Just stay with me, okay? And we're going to go through each of the things that we learned, and I'll give you some samples, and you'll be able to take this information and have some tangible, a tangible summary that's pretty easy to digest, and then look at some of the different interventions that we went over too. So here we go. Okay, so it's called self-check summary. As with everything else, this list is not all-inclusive. I'm sure as I continue to use it, that it's going to modify some, but this gives you a starting point. So we have a category called overactive. So this would be overactive pelvic floor muscles. And the other category here is underactive pelvic floor muscles. And I left a column here if you would like to write any comments, okay? And so we're going to go through these three categories of things that we've been looking at in this challenge. And basically, overactive pelvic floor muscles, these are some of the characteristics of overactive pelvic floor muscles. And so I've broken it down into three categories: non-muscle, muscle, and symptoms. And then underactive pelvic floor muscles, here are some of the characteristics of non-muscle underactive pelvic floor muscles, muscle underactive, and then symptoms. There's definitely crossover. And so this list, again, is not all inclusive. And feel free to add some columns or some rows on there if the situation fits you. And if you have any suggestions for this table, drop them below as well. But this is a starting point. So now let's go ahead and we're going to look at some samples of, first we're going to start with non-muscle overactive pelvic floor muscles.